from the same SPSS data file, we're going to go ahead and run this test. So significant difference in the number of employees, right? A number of employees, that's a continuous variable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they all make sense. And the grouping variable is hospital. So that makes it a one-way between group ANOVA. Let's get to the data set. So there it is right there. Hospital is a nominal variable, and here are the different hospitals labeled by number. Number of employees, let's make sure they're right, nominal and scale. So we're good to go. We're going to check the normality first. Analyze, descriptives, explore. Out with annual, in with number of employees. And everything should be pre-selected if you clicked them before and you didn't reset it. Okay, here's our output. This is all your descriptive statistics, your means, your medians, your standard deviations, etc., etc. There's our normality test. According to the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, it did not, but according to the Shapiro-Wilks, it did. We tend to use the KS here. And I'll be honest with you, that does not look very normal to me. And the rest of these things, that does look kind of normal. Okay, so the box plot looks relatively normal. And this test right here, these dots should be on the line. Okay, and that's for this test, the QQ plot. But again, we're just going to go by the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. So it did not violate the assumption of normality. We're going to go ahead and run the test. Analyze general linear model univariato. Out with annual salaries, in with number of employees. Out with school, in with hospital. And post hoc test. We're going to do the Tukey test. Options. And again, they should be already picked, and they are. Click continue, click OK. So here is the output. So we had 7 different entries for each hospital. There's the means. So I see a high of 19.7, a low of 11. And that's a pretty big difference there. But, okay, so this difference has to be 2 standard errors apart. So in other words, so if I take 19.7 and I subtract 11.7, that's 8. 8. And I take the average of these, which is roughly 3, divided by the square root of 7, which is roughly 2.3. So the standard error is somewhere around 1.5. And 8 divided by 1.5 is much bigger than 2. So, yeah, there's going to be a significant difference in there. For sure, I would bet $1. Next, it did violate the assumption of homogeneity variance. In other words, the variance of the 7 different hospitals is not the same, and it violated. But we're going to run it anyway. And here is our source of variance box, corrected model, 0.001. Boom. So there is a significant difference in there somewhere. And let's find out where. The post hoc test will tell us exactly where. So how I do it is I simply look down the SIG column. Nothing, 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 nothing. That one's close. Ah, there we go. 007. Dun, dun, dun. So what this is saying is there's a significant difference in the number of employees between the VA hospital and Scripps. See that? Scripps versus VA, there's the significance value. So Scripps and VA, let's see if there's anybody else. Now this one will be the VA versus Scripps. They're just backwards of each other. But here's one. Palomar and the VA. So the VA and Scripps, VA and Palomar. And I think that's all we're going to find. Again, you got a couple of close calls here, but that's it. Okay. Oh, nope, there's another one. VA and UCSD. So VA is in all 3 of them. That's either going to be the highest or the lowest. We're going to go back up to their means. And that's the lowest. So in other words, VA is the lowest, and there's a significant difference between the top 3, which is what was UCSD, Palomar, and Scripps. A one-way between group ANOVA indicated that there was a significant difference in the number of employees between the 7 different hospitals. F parentheses 6, 42, close parentheses, equals 4.99, with a probability value of 0.001 with a very strong effect size. That's eta squared, you all, of 0.416, which means that they can explain about 41.6% of the variance in the number of employees between the hospital. They can explain it because of the way the hospital hires. That's where that comes in, which is very strong. And a power of 0.983. The minimum there is 0.8, so we're good there as well. A Tukey post-hoc test showed a significant difference in the number of employees between the VA hospital, they're the low boys, right, 11.71, and UCSD, they're the high. Scripps was the second high, and Palomar was the third high. And the assumption of normality was violated, but the assumption of homogeneity was not. And we could say that the ANOVA is a robust test, and it can withstand a violation or two and keep going. But that's what we're doing here, and that's it. MGZ out.